Your person still can't understand why they can't get over you. No matter how much time has passed or how far apart you may be, they're still missing you deeply. You're constantly on their mind, they're obsessing over you, replaying old memories, wondering what could have been, and aching for another chance. They're still in love with you, even if they try to hide it. Nothing they do seems to help them move on. They've tried distractions, tried burying their emotions, but nothing has worked. The feelings they have for you haven't faded, they've only grown stronger with your absence. Now, they find themselves looking into the mirror and barely recognizing the person staring back. There's a deep sense of confusion and regret within them. Everything they've done, the lies, the betrayals, the hurtful words, all to protect their own ego, is haunting them now. They thought they were preserving their pride, their image, maybe even their control in the relationship. But in the process, they lost something far more valuable, you. They betrayed your trust, crossed lines they never should have crossed, and now they're paying the price emotionally and spiritually. What hurts them even more is the realization that you're no longer stuck. You've healed in ways they never expected. You've taken your power back. You've put their ego in check by walking away, by refusing to chase them, by choosing your peace over their chaos. And that shift has thrown them completely off balance. The very control they clung to is gone. They're anxious and unsettled, unable to accept that they no longer have a hold on you. Despite all this, their desire for you hasn't gone away. In fact, it's only intensified. They are still incredibly attracted to you, not just physically, but to your energy, your essence, your strength. They want you back in their life. They crave your love, your warmth, and the emotional safety that only you provided. No one else has measured up. They may have tried to move on with other people or distract themselves with surface-level connections, but nothing compares to the depth of what they had with you. When you walked away, something in them broke. They didn't realize just how much they valued you until you were no longer within reach. That's when they started to see the truth. They began to recognize that there is no one else like you. No one with your spirit, your love, your loyalty, your authenticity. Watching you take a new path, one that doesn't include them, is literally driving them crazy. They're desperate to know what you're up to, who you're seeing, how you're feeling. Their curiosity is insatiable because deep down, they're hoping there's still a chance for them. What's even harder for them to accept is that you already knew the truth they're just now starting to see. You saw through their defenses, their excuses, their ego-driven actions. You knew the love was real, but you also knew your worth, and that's why you chose to walk away when they couldn't match your energy. Now, they're coming back around, hoping to give you clarity, hoping that their apology will be enough to open your heart again. They're praying that you'll give them another chance to make things right. The conflict they once felt about this connection is starting to clear. They're no longer running from their feelings. They know what they want now, and it's you. But whether you still want the same thing is unclear. You've changed. You've grown. And you may not be in the same emotional place you once were. Still, they're holding on to hope. In truth, this connection was never meant to be easy. It was meant to reveal. You both held up mirrors to each other, mirrors that reflected back all the hidden insecurities, unresolved wounds, and buried fears that needed healing. This wasn't just a love story, it was a soul lesson. The pain, the confusion, the emotional highs and lows were all part of the process of awakening, of becoming. And while that healing journey has been painful, it was necessary. Whether or not the two of you find your way back to each other, the impact has been life-changing. Your person is now facing truths they avoided for a long time. And you, in your strength, have created the space for both of you to grow. Even if reconciliation never comes, what remains is undeniable, a connection that transformed you both and forced you to confront the parts of yourselves that you might have otherwise ignored. And sometimes, that's what love is truly meant to do. I wanted to reach out and speak from the heart because there's been so much on my mind that I haven't had the courage to say until now. First and foremost, I want to sincerely apologize for the way I treated you. I know I breadcrumbed you, kept you around with small hints of hope, giving just enough attention to keep the connection alive but never truly showing up for you in the way you deserved. I can only imagine how confusing and painful that must have been. And for that, I am deeply sorry. Looking back, I realize how much harm I caused by not being honest with you, or with myself. I strung you along when I wasn't ready to fully commit, and instead of being transparent, I hid behind excuses and silence. I let you believe that maybe things would eventually fall into place, that maybe I just needed a little time or space, when in truth, I wasn't facing my own fears or acknowledging my emotional unavailability. I thought I was protecting myself, but I see now that all I did was hurt someone who truly cared for me. You didn't deserve that. You've been on my mind constantly lately. It's like the weight of everything I tried to ignore is finally settling in, and I can't escape the reality of what I did. The more I reflect, the clearer it becomes just how deeply I messed up. I see now that what we had, or what we could have had, was something rare and real. And I see that I took it for granted. I didn't appreciate you the way I should have, and I failed to show up for you in the way you needed me to. The truth is, I value you far more than I ever let on. You are an incredible person, genuine, loving, compassionate, and kind. You have a heart that radiates warmth, and a presence that made me feel safe, even when I didn't fully understand why. I didn't know how to handle that kind of love back then. I was so caught up in my own fears and emotional baggage that I couldn't see the gift standing right in front of me. You were offering me something pure, and I didn't know how to receive it. I know that words alone can't undo the past, and I'm not here expecting immediate forgiveness or a second chance. But I do want to take responsibility. Not just in the form of an apology, but by truly acknowledging what I did and how it affected you. You deserved honesty. You deserved consistency. You deserved someone who made you feel chosen, not like a backup plan or an afterthought. And I failed you in all of those ways. What's changed now is that I'm no longer hiding from the things I used to run from. I've done a lot of soul-searching and self-reflection, and I've started to face the parts of myself that I used to avoid. The truth is, I wasn't ready back then, not for a real connection, not for emotional vulnerability, not for the kind of love that asks you to show up every day with intention. But I'm ready now. I've reached a point in my life where I no longer want to run or keep people at arm's length. I want to be fully present, fully accountable, and fully capable of loving someone the right way. I don't expect you to believe all of this right away. Trust takes time to rebuild, especially when it's been broken. But I want you to know that I'm here now, not with empty promises or vague gestures, but with a genuine desire to make things right. I want to show you that I've grown, and that I'm willing to put in the effort it takes to rebuild what I damaged. I want to be someone who is there for you consistently, who supports you in all that you do, and who loves you wholeheartedly without fear or hesitation. If you're willing to give me that chance, I won't take it lightly. And even if you're not, if you've moved on or decided that you deserve better, I will still be grateful that you were ever in my life at all. You taught me so much, even when I didn't realize it at the time. And I carry that with me now, every day. I just wanted you to know how truly sorry I am, how much I regret the way things went, and how deeply I respect and appreciate you for the person you are. Whatever you decide, I will accept it with understanding. But I hope, in some way, this message brings you clarity, healing, or at the very least, closure. Thank you for reading this and for being someone worth fighting for, even if I'm only realizing it now. Lately, your partner has been thinking about you more than you could ever imagine. You occupy their thoughts almost constantly, and it goes far beyond casual memories or fleeting moments. There's a deep longing in their heart, and they've been fantasizing about you, reliving shared experiences, and imagining what life could be like if things were different. Even though you may be apart now, they feel a powerful connection that hasn't faded with time or distance. In fact, the separation has only intensified their emotions. One of the ways they've been coping with this distance is by keeping an eye on you through social media. It's not just about seeing what you're up to or liking a few pictures here and there. There's something much more emotional and meaningful behind it. When they look at your posts, they're trying to feel close to you, to reconnect with your energy in any way they can. Scrolling through your photos and updates gives them a sense of being near you, even if only virtually. Every caption, every glimpse into your world means more to them than they would ever admit. You may have waited for this person for quite some time, holding on to hope that they would come around, only to face circumstances that forced you to move forward with your life. Perhaps it was a lack of communication, fear, misunderstandings, or something more complicated that created the distance between you. Whatever it was, it pushed you to protect your heart and let go, even if only partially. But now, your partner is beginning to feel the weight of what they lost. The very things they once avoided, conversations, vulnerability, emotional commitment, they're now ready to face. Your kindness and compassion are qualities that have left a lasting impression on them. Even when things were uncertain between you two, they could see how genuine and warm-hearted you were. It's something they can't forget, and it's one of the reasons they find themselves drawn to you now more than ever. In a world where authenticity is rare, your energy stood out like a beacon. They've come to realize that your love was real, and your intentions were pure, something they perhaps didn't fully appreciate at the time. Now, they find themselves wishing for the courage to reach out, to express what they've kept hidden for so long. There's an urgency growing within them, driven by the fear of losing you forever. The idea of seeing you with someone else, sharing the love and loyalty they once had, or could have had, is almost unbearable. That fear is waking them up and stirring them to action. They don't want to sit in silence anymore, watching from the sidelines as you move on with your life. They want to be part of it again, this time in a more meaningful and lasting way. What your partner truly desires is a fresh start, a clean slate where past misunderstandings and pain no longer define your connection. They don't just want to come back as a friend or someone lingering in your past. Their heart is yearning for more. They want to build a deeper, more committed bond, one where both of you can grow together, heal together, and create new memories that outshine the old. However, you may be finding it hard to sense their presence or feel their emotional energy right now. That's because they could still be healing from a karmic cycle or emotional wound that held them back before. This process of healing, although painful and slow, is necessary for them to fully step into the person they need to be, the person you deserve. It's been a journey of self-realization, and through it, they've come to see who you truly are and what you truly meant to them. They're beginning to recognize your worth on a much deeper level now. All the little things you did, the support, the patience, the way you loved them, are finally coming into focus, and they feel a deep sense of regret for not valuing it sooner. But that regret is now transforming into hope, into a sincere wish for a second chance. They don't want to return to the dynamic you once had only to remain on the surface level. Friendship isn't enough for them anymore. They want so much more. They crave closeness, intimacy, and emotional honesty. They want to open up to you in ways they couldn't before. They envision a future where you can laugh together again, trust each other, and build a love that's stronger and more resilient than ever before. In their heart, there is a quiet prayer for reconciliation, for the opportunity to show you that they've changed, that they've grown, and that their love for you is real. They hope that, somehow, you'll feel their energy reaching out to you, even if it's faint. And when the time feels right, they wish to step forward, not just to speak their truth, but to live it alongside you.